Hello, and welcome back to The Lion's Den. I'm your host, Matt, as always, and this week has been cold, very cold. And I don't understand why, because it's April. Um, it should be getting warmer, because, spring forward, time, all of that stuff. The clock thing is annoying. Why do we have daylight at the same time? It's so stupid. You have to run around and change all your clocks and make sure everything's synced back up, and some things do it automatically and some things don't. The ones that do it automatically are great because you don't have to worry about it, and if you have alarms that are tied to those that change automatically, then you'll still wake up at the correct time. Although you do have that confusion when you wake up thinking, is it actually 7 o'clock, or is it 6 o'clock, or is it 8 o'clock, because it moves forward? I don't know. But anyway, it's cold, and the funny thing is, this time last year we were having a barbecue and I got sunburnt because it was hot and sunny. Well, by hot I mean like 20 to 25 degrees, which is very warm. Not hot, but warm, Comfortable enough that you can sit outside in shorts and t-shirt and wear sunglasses and stuff. But yeah, I was walking to the gym this morning thinking, I'm cold. My legs are actually cold as I'm walking because it was below zero this morning. I mean, to be fair, I did get up quite early for the gym, but even so, it was still not pleasant. But the odd thing is, by the time I was going home at like 9:30, it warmed up and I'd warmed up, so it was okay. But it's still very, very bizarre. Anyway, one thing I wanted to launch into today is the fact that I recently got in contact with an old friend. So, back in school when I was about 13, 14, they did this random pen pal scheme where a bunch of students from South Korea came and visited. And I think initially beforehand they'd sent over a bunch of boxes that they distributed out to a bunch of students here, and obviously they didn't know what person they were getting or who they were, so they just sent sort of generic things. And then we sent like a letter back with a bunch of stuff that we'd got from our end. I remember going into town and picking up a bunch of like really stereotypical style British things, some like little trinkets and food and whatnot to send to them. And I wrote a letter and everything. And that was really cool. And then they actually came and visited our school, and we spent like half the day with them, which was really interesting because like you're talking to someone from a completely different country, and when you're a young child, that's semi mind blowing. I remember at that point, I think we exchanged sort of Facebook details, but nothing happened after that. It went quiet, and the school weren't saying anything. They weren't supporting it. I think they stopped doing the whole scheme like shortly after, which was really upsetting because obviously I'd had no chance to then send back anything to them. But the weird thing is, if we jump forward to when I was about 16, 17, in what we call sixth form, or in the UK it's technically college, so it's that sort of step before you actually go to university, which I think is what Americans call college, even though they call it university as well. It's very confusing. Either way, I'm in there doing my own thing, and one of the like higher ups comes to me and says, "We've got this package for you. It's this box that's come from South Korea that's got your name on it." And I was just like, are you kidding me? So here this box from my pen pal that they'd sent back after the first box I'd sent them, that had just been sat around for God knows how long. And I remember I'd continually gone and asked, like, oh, is there anything, do you know what's happening and stuff, and just got absolutely nothing out of them. And it was really sad because it was so cool. They actually decided to change what they'd sent because they knew who I was at that point. So they sent some food that was expired, which was really a shame. And they sent some interesting other things. So they sent this weird door knocker style thing. You know how like you go into a shop and you open the door and it rings a bell? Well, apparently in Korea they have very common metal doors. So they have magnetic ones where the base just has like a little magnet and you snap it up into the door frame, and then the ring gets hit by the door when you open it. And I was just like, that's so cool, and it sounds really nice. And it's, I think, designed like a turtle. There were some socks in there because that was obviously what she was into at the time, which was quite fun. Oh, and the chopsticks. She sent like 5 pairs of chopsticks that are really nicely designed. They're like full on wood carved and everything, and they're so gorgeous. I don't even want to use them. I haven't used them, but I will keep hold of them because they're so like beautiful, and I love it. And there's a few other bits, but they also sent a really nice letter that I didn't get to read until when I was like 4 years older after the event. And it's really pretty drawing that they did. I was like, oh, which is funny now because they've moved on to actually study contemporary art and create art and everything. So that's really interesting. And the thing is, I bring this up because recently when I was at home for Easter, I found all of this stuff under my bed and was kind of looking through it and thought, oh, this is really cool. It's a really nice, interesting part of my history, and I wish I'd kept it going. But then I remembered, well, we exchanged Facebook sort of details. So I went on, found them. I was scrolling through to see if they were active or not and was kind of concerned because it didn't look like they'd been doing anything on Facebook since like 2019. But I decided to send them a message anyway with a photo because I thought, it's a long shot, but if it happens, it happens. We'll see. And they actually replied. They replied today, funnily enough, which was really nice. And I'm glad to have heard back from them because it means like, they're okay with the scenario that we're in. And they were really excited that they got to hear back from me as well. And they were like shocked that I had that box eventually after all this time. But yeah, I think if that's the scheme your school offers, try and take the initiative yourself to set up the connection. So like, for example, when we were introduced, I obviously had no idea that it was all going to fall apart. At that point, I should have tried to set up like a really strong connection, like, oh, can I have your address or something so that I can send you boxes myself, or can I have more contact details so I can keep in touch? Because it's really a shame that we didn't get to have this kind of back and forth over the years. So I wonder if there's schemes online that you can look into and do this kind of stuff for yourself. Like, I mean, as adults, it might be a bit weird. I don't know whether you could like sign up to a website where it's like, oh, we'll connect you with a person in, I don't know, X country, and you can send them stuff and whatnot. Maybe it's something that's more for like kids, so parents can log on and like get a pen pal for their kids to do. That'd be really cool. Wow, I went on for that for a while. What else has happened? So this week I moved back to university, mainly because I live with my project partner for university, so moving back kind of made sense because I can do my work with them a lot more easily than having to do it over the internet. Obviously, we quarantined and everything. We did it completely safe and make sure that we're not spreading things around that we shouldn't be. But I do enjoy the freedom. I do enjoy cooking, especially cooking what I want to eat, not what I'm eating, because we're doing it as a family. We have to share everything. So, and also I can kind of tailor when I'm eating depending on what I'm doing that day. If one day I decide I want to sit and play games all day and have dinner really late, I can tailor that for myself. So yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, I saw this so a random thing. I saw this meme about posting art where it was like what you actually end up posting. So basically like a bust from maybe mid chest up to the head. What you end up drawing more, and it's like the torso. What you attempt to sketch the legs, and then just like what the hell with the feet, because nobody learns the lower half of the body until they end up having to, because it's insane. As many of you might also be in tune with this, anime is something I quite enjoy. So I recently started rewatching one called Erased, which is like a murder mystery style thing thrown in with a bit of time travel. Highly recommend it. Won't say much more because it's interesting to go into it blind. And it's very short. I think it's like 12 to 14 episodes long, and they're only 20 minutes a piece, so you can get into it quite nicely. But the one thing I am really excited for is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 anime, because I don't have any of the manga. So the anime is the only way I'm going to get to watch it, because I'm not made of money and I can't just buy volumes and volumes and volumes of manga. Not to mention, I don't have the storage capacity for all of those manga. But yeah, very excited. I know very little about it. Like, I know, obviously, the main JoJo is Jolene Kujo, I think that's how you pronounce it, who is, I believe, JoJo's daughter? Question mark? Yeah, very excited for that. Hopefully it will be released soonish. If it's been released now and I'm an idiot for not realizing it, then that'll be upsetting. Also, I've seen they're starting to release, I think, season 5 of My Hero Academia. Yes, I personally like it. I know a lot of people think it's overrated or boring or whatever, but I'm into it and I'm excited to see where that heads off down. So I think that should hopefully be enough to wrap up. So thank you all for listening to my rambling, if you indeed still are. I really need like a better outro, but that's just kind of stuck with me now. So like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff, because again, this is a YouTube channel, not a podcast. But hopefully I'll see you all next week. Bye.